Evam Bhati Mahashramanaye Swaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata, the cessation causes as well as taught by the great seer. Okay, let us continue from where we left yesterday. We are on page 199. Page 199. This second paragraph, which reads accordingly. Okay, so yesterday what we learned is that that when you talk about the nature, there are two kinds, or three kinds. Two, they must. One, the nature in the form of, we say it is natural. Okay, when we use these vocabularies, philosophical vocabularies, there are two things to keep in mind. One is that first, when we learn, don't try to impose your own meaning. Don't try to give your own meanings to the words. These words, you have to try to understand what the author is trying to, what the author means by these words. This is very important. Number one. Once you have learned the author's intention of how these words are used, for example, nature, this is extremely important. In fact, to be very honest, I would say that except for going through these technical studies, we'll never come across these discussions as to what is meant by the nature. So nature, what the author is referring to is the nature in two senses. One is the nature in the form of nature as opposed to mental imputation. Nature as opposed to mental imputation. So from this point of view, what do you understand by the nature? Anyone? Hey. Intrinsic existence, because objective existence as opposed to mental imputation. So that's the nature. We say that, this is unadulterated. It is naturally there, which is not influenced by other things. So it has a connotation of intrinsicality, number one. Then number two is that what we are seeing is not the real nature. You're getting it? Now the second level of understanding is going very profound. What we are seeing is this is a mental projection. For example, look at the screen. Watching a movie, and you enjoy the movie a lot. For how long? 1.5 hours or 3 hours sometimes. Some movies 3 hours, some movies, I don't know nowadays how long. That's, 1 hour. 1 hour and a half. 1 hour and a half or 1.5 hours. So most likely Britishers in Cambridge would say 1.5 hours. And Americans would say 1 hour and a half. Okay, so the 1.5 hours or 3 hours, sometimes can be like 3 hours. So then you're watching a movie, you're enjoying the movie. And then you're watching the movie on the screen. And you have never seen what's a real screen. If you really want to see what's a real screen, what should we do? Stop the projector. Stop the projector, then you will see what the real screen is. Because otherwise the movie is just your mind is fabricating some reality there. Oh, it's very beautiful. Look at this movie, this, we're watching there. This is not the real screen. So, if you really want to know the real screen, what should we do? We have to stop the projector. Projector is your mind. Your mind stop it, and then you can imagine what the reality is out there. The screen, what the screen like? Just a blank white sheet. You agree? That's the reality of the screen. So we're not seeing the screen. We're seeing the projections projected by mind all the time. All the people here, the beautiful place, and you go home, and then the issues, court cases, like the property disputes, and then some people struggling for promotion, not getting promotion, and some people manipulating to get promotion. All these difficult tears, and then some people die, some people born, celebrate, and their person again dies, weep. So these are all the movie projections of mind. Stop the projector. Just imagine you stop this projection, and then you will discover the reality. Reality meaning the nature, true nature, the real nature that's to be discovered. That is the meaning of the emptiness of the objective reality. Emptiness of objective reality, that is the nature. So nature, there are two kinds. One, the nature which we see as the something which is not imputed by your mind. Not imputed mind, we see everything is intrinsically real. Not as imputed by your mind, but as from its own side. This is one nature. So nature in the context of objective negation of emptiness. This is one nature. Another nature is stop the projection, and then you see the nature, what the reality is. That is the ultimate reality, ultimate truth. That is the nature. So the nature has two connotations. It's amazing. If you really just feel something, wow. These we will never get from I won't say physics, but from the modern education. You will never get these thoughts. They're so precious, and these will revolutionize our thinking. This is amazing, so precious. Okay, so nature is of two kinds. Now let's say that the emptiness, which of the two natures does it fulfill? Does it qualify? The first or second? The second one. Say the flower, impermanent phenomena, composite phenomena. Which of the two natures it qualifies? First or second? It qualifies both. So it is intrinsic reality. Huh? Hey, what happened? So compounded phenomena or impermanent phenomena like the flower, like yourself, the building, the stars, the moon, the properties that we are fighting for, property fights. And people look, I remember in the olden times taking the public bus. So the travelers, the passengers, they get on the bus. They get on the bus and they fight. This is my seat, this is my seat. And they fight, and it's only for 5 minutes. And you're fighting. And for fighting, your whole mood is disrupted in 5 minutes, and then you have to get off. Seeing things so intrinsically real. This is a problem. So all these things which are involved in creating problem to us, all the problems, cheesecake or anything, all these things which creates problem, just see which of the two natures it fits into. The first or second? Second means, second is the true nature. Remove the projection. Cheesecake movie there. Movie of the cheesecake. Somebody having enjoying cheesecake, and your mouth waters. So that person enjoying cheesecake on the movie, is that real or not? It's coming from the projector. Stop the projector, then you will see the reality of that person eating the cheesecake is empty. Objectively empty. You're getting it? So likewise, all what we see is the projection. Your mind is a projector. And how do we know that? Look at this object. This is a flower. You say this is a flower. In actuality, it's just a pool of atoms. How many agree with me? Raise hands. How many agree with this? A pool of atoms. And where in the atoms is a flower that you say is a very beautiful flower? Where is it? No. There's no flower at all in the atoms. But you were seeing something. Where is that? Where is the flower which you are seeing as so beautiful, texture, color combination, so forth? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? So, if you feel that, but it's undeniable reality that this is a red flower, and this is a yellow flower, and this is a booklet. You can distinguish them. This is undeniably they are not same. Undeniably they are different. We know that. Undeniably something red flower, but when you go on that, go closer to the object, like what Arinigarjuna taught, if the mirage were to be water, why not those close but the mirage see water? By going closer, where's the water? There's no water. What earlier was water is just an illusion, it's a mirage. Likewise, you go closer, you end up seeing the pool of atoms. And then if you think very seriously, and I would say that most of you must have watched this one, the NASA company's documentary film, to zoom into on the level of the atoms of the leaf. How many watched it? Raise hands. Okay, those who did not watch, you must watch it. Seeing is believing. How I explain and you see it, sometimes it says that one photograph is more powerful than thousands of books. One photograph is good enough. So likewise, seeing is believing. You look at it, and then if you feel that, it gives you like a jerk, it gives like a, and you cannot explain what's happening in you. If there's a tinge of your body shrinks, it's a good indication. What is happening is that there's a contradiction. You're discovering something that what you perceive as the flower, as the person, as this, that, and so forth, versus to discover the deeper reality. There's a clash there. How you superficially perceive things as objective real, as this or that, and on a deeper level, what you call as something, the flower and so forth, disappears. So the reality and appearance, there's a discrepancy. You discover the discrepancy. The moment you discover that, intellectually we can say this is very easy. It does not really affect us much. But when you really see that and then meditate on this, it is like actually seeing. Seeing with the meditation, it makes your mind to work closer and closer to the reality rather than just intellectual playing, conceptual playing with this. So what I'm saying, this is a discrepancy that we are discovering. At a moment, what we think is that what appears is the reality. We conceive of the reality and the perception as the same. Now you discover the reality and the perception are very different. The discovery is made, and then a tinge of fear and some kind of confusion, even thought of confusion can come to you. If these indications happen, you are very, very meritorious. And this, you have to continue this journey. Don't break the journey, continue the journey, study more, and particularly where are these treasures, like the Acharya Chandra text, and then finally the Nagarjuna's text, and then go to the Buddha's own sutras. So deliberately we added some sutras on emptiness by the Buddha's own teachings. We later, this 8th edition, we have added 2 or 3 additional sutras on emptiness, because we don't always go after the commentaries. Tibetan commentaries, Nagarjuna, Acharya Chandra, and even if you go to Nagarjuna, it's amazing. And people going after even Nagarjuna is very difficult. So just go into some very easy explanations, and then that suffices the understanding of emptiness. No. So this is what we need to be. So finally, for study these things, Lama Tsongkhapa's text. Lama Tsongkhapa's text is very unique. Just to share with you some thoughts. Some of you may be thinking that, okay, it's all Tibetan commentaries, and then go to Indian commentaries. When will you study the Buddha's own sutras? Okay, so don't worry. If you understand this, it opens a gate to all others. You read the sutras, you'll enjoy the sutras. Okay, so if you are, how many of you are from the hotel management? Raise hands. Hotel management. Hotel management. No one. Okay, one over there. Hotel management or management school. Hotel management, not management school. Okay, but you have management school. Now, okay. Hotel management. Just imagine that. Okay, Minodiji, yes. Mike. Let people know what you're doing, what you were trained in, and what do you do now. Yes.
I didn't hear that, Geshe.
You are trained in the hotel management,
hospitality management,
and now managing the school.
The school, yes, Geshe.
The school is amazing. The Minodiji school, and here Isar is hand. Yes. Minodiji and the Isar's mother and Isar, both of them, they manage a school with 3,000 students, and it's very encouraging. Like age, class 6, age, what age?
From 3-year-old to 18-year-old.
No, class 6,
class
what
6 age? Is about 10-year-old.
10 years old. So these children, when they asked me to, when they invited me to give teachings, I asked, what's the purpose of life? Everybody, all the children, the boys, girls, they're just competing. Raise hands, says that compassion, peace. That's amazing. This is what they're teaching. Without teaching, how can we learn these things? These small children, they learn all these things. Compassion is amazing. Otherwise, usually we go money, job, then promotion. We only think about these things. They did not learn about the compassion. The compassion is amazing, very inspiring. Okay, so what I'm saying is that these things are so precious. You, for example, like the management, hotel management. Imagine that you are a housekeeping of a hotel with 500 rooms, and you have to carry 500 keys. 500 keys, you carry that. It's very bulky, so bulky. So what do? No, don't carry 500 keys. Take one master key. Take one master key. Now this cart, just a flat cart, and that opens all the doors. Likewise, for example, like say Arinigarjuna's text, Acharya Chandrakirti's text, Lama Tsongkhapa's text, these are like the master keys. Study them thoroughly. Don't think that I'm missing, oh, there are so many texts, I'm missing all these things, this text, that text, I'm missing all these things. Don't worry, study this, you get a master key. Once you get a master key, you read any other text, sutras, Western philosophy, classical Indian philosophy, any classical Indian you read, and you'll be so happy to see that you can see, say, where for example, the Western philosophy, Descartes, what he's talking, and what he talks, which level it fits. You can see that. And David Hume, what he's talking, which level he fits, what is his mistake. You can see his mistake. Just get a master key from here. Don't think that, don't digging too many wells, you will not get water. Try to identify a very good one, very good place, very good source. And of course, even for that, you require a lot of merit. If you don't have the enough merit, you can easily be swayed. For example, like a very fast-moving car, without good control over the steering, what can happen? Even a tiny pebble can just turn the car off the track. You agree? So this is exactly what can happen to us if the merit is not there, if the gravity of the merit is not there with the car, it can easily go in the wrong direction. Very easy. For example, study, so many years, meditation, so many years, and then to get even the feeling, some feeling, it takes many years. And then other people say that, no, you have to practice, study. What is this? And yeah, you're right. I studied for the last 6 years. Nothing happens. Right? I'm married. Nothing happens. So where there's prostrating, then recite mandala, then this you visualize yourself as a Buddha, this deity, that deity, and so forth. And people see me as a practitioner, and people accept me as a practitioner. Oh, this person is into this path for the last 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. No, this is just creating self-deception. So where you have the possibility to understand the Buddha's own teachings, Buddha's own emptiness. So where you can get 100%, go for it, rather than going for 90%. Where you can go only 90%, not 100, go for 90, don't go for 70%. Where you don't, there's a choice between 0 and 10, go for 10. 10 doesn't mean it's 100. Some people say mindfulness meditation is good, but it's like 10. You're getting it? If it's 0 or 10, go for 10. But 10 and 100, go for 100. Don't feel complacent with 10. So how do you know that? This is very important. How do we know that? So for that, go for the mindfulness practice. Go for this practice, this meditation. Be exposed to all these traditions. Be exposed to all the traditions. You're getting it? In a skillful way. Be exposed to all the traditions. Then you will be the best of the judge. You will be the best of the judge. From your experience, for example, you have seen this place. You have seen Delhi. Then people say, oh, Delhi is a beautiful place. This place is not so good. And you will laugh. Right? Delhi, the air quality is amazing. Why are you laughing? So here, no, it's not so clean. Delhi is so clean. Air quality is amazing. And temperature is so moderate. Always 20, like 15, 16, 17, 20. I'm sorry, yes, 15, 16, 20. No. Which is better, Delhi or here? No comparison. Here is better. You're getting it? So therefore, once you know the two things, you don't require anybody to tell you that this is better than Delhi. The Delhi, the only thing that we have is the Buddha relics. This is so precious. Other than that, very complicated people are there. In my office, I have to meet with complicated people. Very complicated people I have to meet, Okay. Sorry?
In Delhi, we have Tibet also.
Well, he always sees the beauty in everything. Ajit is very special. He always sees beauty in everything. Okay, so now that we got some idea from the last quite in a technical aspect, what was I like to reinforce one thing. Finally, our job, your job, my job, all of our job is to take care of yourself. And then see on a higher level of taking care of yourself, the best way to take care of yourself is take care of others. His Holiness says, if you really want to be selfish, if you really want to take care of, if you want to be good to yourself, help others. And if you want to help others, of course, be compassionate. If you want to help yourself, be compassionate, express compassion. So compassion is solution. So on a high level, this is the only way. For your own well-being, for the well-being of others, compassion is the ultimate solution. Compassion driven by the wisdom. That is important. So with having said this, our well-being, once you know how to create the well-being yourself, for example, like I say Ajikasana here, great inspiration to so many people. Great inspiration, so many supporting, so many people directly, indirectly into Dharma. Very, very inspiring. So this is the best way for your own well-being. So in a nutshell, it is the well-being, your well-being. For the well-being, so what steals your well-being? Disturbing emotions, afflictions. So the Buddha taught, commit no evils, accumulate as great wealth of virtues as possible. Tame your mind. This is the teaching of the Buddha. So, say all the miseries are attracted by harming others. So don't commit evils, because you don't want miseries. And you want happiness. Then, happiness derives from virtues. Accumulate as great wealth of virtues as possible. And accumulating virtues and stopping the negativities is not the easy task. Nobody can force you. Nobody can force you. Nobody can make you to engage in these things through fear. No. So, one man can take the horse to the river. Then, but 20 men cannot make it drink. Likewise, finally it should be your mind that this is not an easy task. It's also like, oh no, from today onwards I'll not do any negativities. I'll always do virtues. We said this, but in actuality, it's not possible. So why this is not happening is then the Buddha taught after this, the two lines, the third line, tame your mind. It's all about your mind. Manage your mind. How to manage the mind? Then Buddha told, ye dharma hetu prabhava. So this unruly mind is because of a cause. Fix the cause. What is the cause? Contaminant karmas, afflictions, inappropriate attention, then finally self-grasping ignorance. So here, what is known as the pure contact taught here is about the contact, the habit, the practice to stay away from negativities, commit no evils. So the Nagarjuna summarized what the Buddha taught as ceasing of karmas, afflictions, is nirvanas. Karmas, actions, our actions, destructive actions must be stopped. How to stop them? Oh, from to the must no. Think of the root. It causes the afflictions. Stop the afflictions. How to stop the afflictions? They come from inappropriate attention. Stop the inappropriate attention. How to stop the inappropriate attention? They come from self-grasping ignorance. Stop the self-grasping ignorance. What is self-grasping ignorance? You will not even have a clue what it is, because we just swim in the water and we don't know the presence of water. We are in the water and we don't know. Because you're in the water for long, you're in the air, but you don't see the air. This is what happens. We swim into self-grasping ignorance, but we even don't identify the self-grasping ignorance. We're not aware that self-grasping ignorance is happening. So how can we be aware of that? It's only by studying from the wisdom which this Prince Siddhartha discovered. From this wisdom. So this wisdom, then we study this, contemplate it first. It becomes board of knowledge. Wisdom draws through learning. Then whatever the board of knowledge that you get, try to contemplate more on this, and finally you get conviction. That's very true. What I'm seeing is not the reality. You feel awe. For example, look at this Lama Tsongkhapa's writings. They're all coming from experience. And based on the authoritative sources, plus experiences are being shared. Very profound experience because of him going in this line. We can also go in this direction. So that way, this is how we have to manage. Now manage the emotions. So broadly speaking, so if you think of the various traditions, Buddhist, non-Buddhist, within Buddhism, Theravada, so we see that all these ways, the means by which rendered to men to manage their emotions can fall into four categories. Broad, just believe it or not, any tradition that you think of. Today we talk about the social, the emotional learning, and C-learning, social, emotional, ethical learning. And there are many other, the options given to manage emotion, temporary management of emotion, and then the Buddhist teachings to manage emotions. Not only Buddhist, the teachings of all the religious traditions, except for the Charvaka, all the religious traditions to give you a permanent solution. So just look at all these things, you see that somehow they're connected with these four. Number one is to just let your mind strong. Wind will blow, but you learn how to remain strong like Mount Meru. This is the single-pointed meditation. Single-pointed meditation will often bad things will happen. People will slap you, people will push you, but you remain very strong. Your mind is not wavered by the stimulus. That is the single-pointed meditation. This one. So today, what we say is mindfulness meditation, mindfulness-based stress reduction, and so forth. All these fall in this category. And also the 10-day Vipassana course is also falls under this category. So where you build your mind steady, and then somebody will punch me, push me, but I will remain strong. I will not move. You're getting it. So that, whereas there's some people, even the words can move you. You have a physical body, but you have a big physical body which is so heavy, but the word can move you. You step it and finished. And you said, oh, how dare you say this? You know, whole your body's in movement, right? You have no control. No, you have such a big body. Grab it there. Oh, I'm very strong. No, a word can push you. Your stupid is good enough to push you. This is who we are. So for that, learn how to do a single point of meditation. With single point of meditation, at least it will not really solve, it's not going to be a permanent solution, but at least your mind will be stable and you will not feel too much injured as much as you are pushed here, there, and then you bang against a wall and so forth, like how the wind, how the tsunami does, or how the tempest, they do, or the tornado, how you throw you elsewhere. So this cannot be done. Your mind will be very strong, and then you will feel hurt. Still you are in samsara, in the dream. Number 2, stay away from stimulus. Stay away from stimulus. Stimulus of the negative emotions which can stir you. Stay away from the stimulus. For example, the monastic rules, regulations, they are primarily for that purpose, to stay away from the stimulus, to bind you, to put you in a fence, stay in this fence. So because you don't meet with the stimulus, for example, you come here after with your job, with say a little bit of uneasiness with your colleagues, whole year long. This uneasiness with this colleague. Now I'll have a short break. There's a retreat happening in Mungod, the monastery. All the divine people are here. The monks are there. All the monks are there everywhere. Everybody will be smiling at you. If you don't smile, who will smile at you? But you expect everybody to smile at you. And so here, what you are trying to do is that you're trying to get away from the stimulus. You're trying to get away from the stimulus. This is also very important. So when you go through difficulties, if the direct stimulus is there, and if there's a possibility for you to stay away from stimulus, this to be done. This to be done. Stay away from the stimulus. For example, there's one gentleman who was going through a deep, dark period of his life. It's all like he cannot come out of it at all. And then he has some interest in Dharma. So with this we met, and then I was interacting. I was telling him, okay, your job, I can see. Then he gave up. He said that I cannot come out of this at all. I said, you can come out. What you do is now anybody can provoke you. They are very powerful people, they can provoke you. But first of all, you cut off yourself from them. Your, say, the phone numbers, email addresses, all these things, just cut off from them. Then next is then you don't provoke them. You don't provoke them, time will heal. And gradually he started to come out of this problem. But merit plays a very important role. He comes to a problem and then he jumps into another problem himself. Yeah, this is all the merit. Okay, so number 2 is staying away from the stimulus. This is very important. And whereas, for example, like young boys and girls, I'll say if the boys and girls, you came here to take a break from the UPSC exam, but I'm very sorry. Again, I'm triggering this in you. UPSC exam, competitive exams, right? I came here to take a break from this, and then again he's saying UPSC exam. Okay, so this is quite a tricky part. So we really require skills. We really require skills how to manage these things, because you're going to say, okay, now I don't want to apply for UPSC exam. So the stimulus, I have to stay away from stimulus because this triggers the anxiety, stress, and so forth. So that there are some times where karma is such that there's no way other than to stay with the stimulus. So, but then there's always a way out. There's always a way. This is a good thing. There's always a way out, but you have to meet with somebody who can guide you properly. Proper guidance. This is very important. This is number 2, staying away from stimulus. Then staying away from the stimulus, because of your Buddha nature, you keep healing. You keep healing. This is amazing. You keep healing. So mentally you keep healing, and cognitively you keep healing. And time also heals because you get the chance to heal. You are not with the stimulus. This is so important, number 2. Then number 3 is compassion. Number 3 is compassion. The compassion, don't say, oh, I'm compassionate. It will not help. There could be exceptions. People who practice compassion from the past lives. Who practice compassion from past lives, and this life, they have incredibly profound compassion. In my life, I've seen some, only few, who really demonstrated natural compassion so profound. I'm not talking about the intense compassion, I'm talking about the profound compassion. These two are different. Profound compassion and intense compassion, these two are different. So, and these are from the monastics, amongst the monastics. Not many, very less, but amongst the monastics. Very profound. I just wish that these people be visible to the outside world, but they remain so humble, and then the people don't get the chance to mix with them. It's so less in number. Okay, this is compassion, and compassion has to be practiced. If you practice, you have a Buddha nature. I have a Buddha nature. We all have the Buddha nature. With this practice, then you can see that your heart actually expands. Your heart literally can see that it is expanding. If you don't practice it, don't expect that just keeping studying and then they full stop. It never, they let you enjoy this feeling of the expansion of your heart. And the expansion of the heart happens, all the unnecessary irritations will stop. Small things. Oh, he said like this, he's doing like this, he even does not have the courtesy. What courtesy? If you are in his shoes, her shoes, you will also behave like this. You also behave like this. We don't know this. Because you got the opportunity, and somebody does not get the opportunity, how can you expect that that person will behave as, like a Buddha? So it's all with this compassion practice with the practice through these two techniques, sevenfold course of method and the method of equalizing exchange for self for others. So with these two practices, then you see that, and they're too very consistent. At times they can be very demoralizing. They can become too dry and intellectual and mechanical that there's no experience coming at all. But continue doing this, no matter what, continue doing this. And if you really become desperate, that within about a whole 1 year still nothing happens, then it is time for you to meet with some teachers. Not necessarily teachers, meaning big people, but you have to meet with some people who are genuinely practicing and who can see the transformation in the air. You must meet with these people, get inspiration from these people. They will give you guidance because they went through that. They have the experience. They will guide you. So there's compassion, and this is so beautiful. Compassion is so beautiful. When you start to feel this, all the unnecessary agitation, irritation, sadness will all disappear. It's beautiful. This is one thing. The next is the wisdom of emptiness. Compassion is like a mother amidst the 4 or 5 naughty children. It will not affect the mother. And in fact, the mother feels more happy. Then, okay, if I'm away from this, then what will these naughty children do? They'll burn themselves or kill themselves. Right? I'm so glad I'm here. Right? So the mother, instead of feeling irritated, mother will feel happy that I'm here to make sure these children are protected. So this is where your emotions will be under control. Anger, irritation, and then, for example, say a mother will never fight over the cheesecake with her small child. Mother will never fight. You think you fight or never fight? Huh? They'll never fight. If the child says that, if the mother has one piece and the child has one piece, child says, I want both, mother will say, take both. Right? So this is the mother's warmth, compassion. So for mother, there's no issue. Mother's emotion are all under control. Anger, craving, these are controlled because of affection to the children. So compassion is one thing. His Holiness once, I don't remember where, in public teaching or where, I don't remember that. He said that this is purely His Holiness's experience. I just felt that this is pure. I never heard this before. Technically, it should be like this, but I never heard it. I'd never seen the text. He said that if you can practice bodhicitta, if you can feel the bodhicitta, almost the gross afflictions will not arise. This is what is very confidently said. You can be almost confident that the gross afflictions will not arise. So compassion is amazing. Universal compassion. And then the wisdom of emptiness. Wisdom of emptiness. This is so like you have so many complicated people, like hundreds of complicated people around you, and you're so suffocated. And suddenly somebody says, "Hey, you all come out," and all the people ran out, and you are alone. You feel relaxed, or what do you feel? Everything is gone. You're getting it? So the projection of the complicated things stop. Projection stops to see the reality. Projection stops. All body project as bad, good. So what the text we read this morning from Bodhisattva Shantidev's text. Where is somebody who is so loving? Where is somebody who is so nasty? Where is somebody to receive the praise? Where is somebody to receive the deprecation? This all the illusions created by your own mind. Project. Stop the projector, and the projector was the reality of all these movies. You will realize it's just empty. So that way it'll give you, say, it is like, say, I think His Holiness one time mentioned this, that impermanence, meditation impermanence is very powerful, but it's like cooling a machine with the cold water. Cool a machine, keep pouring the cold water, so the machine will gradually cool down. But the wisdom of emptiness is like fast, instant. You feel the emptiness. You experience the emptiness. Even the glimpse of this cursory form, instantly you can feel the difference. This is what His Son said. Instantly you can feel the difference. The power is very different. This is like a laser. It's like a laser. Whereas the impermanence and other meditations, they are like the regular light. Regular light. The laser can really burn you, cut. So this is so powerful. And then finally, the union of bliss and emptiness. Union of bliss and emptiness. This will make your emotions, destructive emotions, as your servants. Just now that you will not be servant of the emotions. The emotions, you can make them turn into your servants. So where you have gained total command of the emotions. So these are the, how many? 5 or 4? If 5, then last one I should keep it confidential. If 4, then last should be kept confidential. If 5, then you're lucky. Right, you've got all 5. Okay, so these are the 5. Now just imagine, say, like, say, some people, they give you tips, like for example, if you are stressful, anxiety, just try to test something, rub something. What is that? It falls under the category of staying away from the stimulus. How? You rub, your mind is distracted from the objects which can trigger irritation in you. You rub something, you rub the floor, like this. These are all making you to stay away from the stimulus. Your mind is pulled away from the stimulus, because then you are distracted. For example, a small child is crying, suddenly you show something and say, "Tok tok." What happens? Tok tok. The child's mind is pulled, right? So this is what is happening. They say, let you stay away from the stimulus, so that stimulus pulled by something else. There are all these, the effectiveness, the benefit of all these will come with the wisdom of emptiness in its full form. In the full form. Simply by the wisdom of emptiness, it will not give you that, but partially yes, particularly the one with the compassion. Where the wisdom is there, compassion invariably arises. But the question is, with the wisdom of emptiness, what level of compassion? Compassion invariably arises, but the great compassion does not necessarily arise simply because of wisdom. That must be cultivated separately. For the Shravakas and Pratik Buddhas, compassion arises because of the wisdom, non-dual wisdom of emptiness. Compassion. If you look at the compassion of these Shravakas and Pratik Buddhas, you may think that these are bodhisattvas. Okay, I will quickly share with you one incident, because that sometimes we say Shravakas and Pratik Buddhas, they don't have compassion. That's not true. They have compassion, but it's known as immeasurable compassion, but they don't have the great compassion. But what we think as, oh, they don't have the great compassion. Actually, if you really see their compassion, you will think that for sure, you will think that they are great bodhisattvas, incredible great compassion. But still, they are not great compassion. which means that we underestimate it. We have no idea what is meant by great compassion in terms of feeling. You have no clue. So great compassion, I was once reading Lama Tsongkhapa's commentary on Abhisamalankara. That was many years after my Geshe, not too many years, maybe after about like maybe 4 or 5 years. Okay, I was reading this to edit another book. Reading this, and there's a mention of, wow, it's when I do my student test, I did not really feel that. And then reading it, it just gave, oh, this amazing Bodhisattva's compassion. Just a glimpse of that makes you like run into tears. It's amazing. Okay, so one compassion which the Sherpakas demonstrate. Just, okay, let's see. Let me not say anything. Let me just share with the anecdote, and then you decide. Is that compassion, the compassion that is demonstrated this particular being, is that something you would classify as a Bodhisattva's compassion? Be very honest. So once there was an old lady who was suffering from leprosy. Which means, what is leprosy? Leprosy. What is that like? In the worst cases, yes, the fingers, the limbs, they can fall off. And it's contagious also. So, there was one lady, old lady, suffering from leprosy, and she had a bowl of porridge. And from distance, you could see one monk. And how the monk, there's a tremendous elegance there, incredible great elements of holiness there. And the old lady just wished that I be able to get the opportunity to offer this to the monk. And the monk sensed it, and the monk came straight to the lady and asked, please give me something to eat. And the monk was holding the alms bowl, and the lady said that, I wish to give this fully to you, but I'm suffering from leprosy. And the monk said, don't worry. Then the lady was so happy. She was pouring whatever she had in her bowl into the monk's bowl. Meanwhile, her finger dropped in the monk's the alms bowl, and the lady was literally trembling with fear. Now, what did it do? It's something so bad. And the monk, what he did was that, sensing that usually the monk would not take it right away, will take it away and then we'll have it then. But here, seeing what was going in the lady's mind, he would see that, then he took the finger out, placed it over there, and then right in front of the lady, she just consumed it. Giving the message to the lady, don't worry. You don't have to worry. It's not a problem. Don't worry. If I've seen that, if it's to be worried, if it's something really bad, then I will not take it. I'll just pour it off. So I'm drinking. He just, in front of her, he consumed. So this all compassion. And this, what is that like? It's a very intense compassion, strong compassion, or so-so compassion. Very incredibly appreciable compassion. That is a Shrapaka, not a Bodhisattva. You getting it? So this is Shrapaka's compassion. Even the Shrapaka's compassion is something which today, if you see somebody demonstrating that, you may think that this is a real high level of Bodhisattva, which means that we really don't know what's the level of the compassion of the Bodhisattvas. Okay, so having said this, with the wisdom of emptiness, ultimately we see that ultimately, for you to, the greatest of well-being, the greatest of well-being of all the other sentient beings is that your Buddha nature has to be awakened. How many agree with me in a sense? That you have to become Buddha. Then you can best benefit yourself, best benefit all others. In a sense? Good. So how to do that? Just remove the mental defilements. How to remove the mental defilements? Resort to the wisdom of emptiness. This only liberating path. But don't forget that the eggs is the only way by which to cut the poisonous tree. But this must be supported by a very strong person to lift it, and the person with a very strong willpower. Otherwise, you just lift the eggs and then look at it like this. And then, oh, what's the time? Oh, it's tea time. I'll go for tea. And now it's time to again go there. Oh, let's have gupshup for some time. Let's have chat for some time. It's fun. We'll do it later. This person will never be able to cut the poisonous tree, huge tree, because there's no willpower. So, even though the axe is very sharp, this is a metaphor for the wisdom of emptiness, but the willpower, the bodhicitta, this is the greatest the willpower that is required. So, the liberating path must be supported by the ripening paths. Okay, so having said this wisdom of infant, so precious. Meanwhile, for your individual, for your own well-being, for the well-being of others, keep in mind that this wisdom of emptiness will be most effective if that is supplemented by bodhicitta, renunciation, and so forth. So, this wisdom is so precious, and what I usually say is that the people that while you still have the brain, young brain, fresh brain, don't waste it for something else. If you do not meet with the wisdom of emptiness teaching, that's a different story. Then you do something else is fine. You always just spend 3 hours, 4 hours in single point of meditation, right? It's fine. But when you meet with the wisdom of emptiness, the liberating path, the only liberating path, focus on that. Meanwhile, don't neglect the other paths. Others also be included, but this must not be compromised. The study, contemplation, meditation, this is so precious. Otherwise, just imagine that you become so good in single point of meditation, like the two teachers of the Buddha. Who are they? Acharya Alara Kalam and Acharya Udrega, the two teachers, they have reached such height of the meditative concentration, peak of existence, formless realm, vacuity, the realm of the vacuity, formless realm, they already reached that level. But the Prince Siddhartha was not happy after reaching the same level as the two teachers. Why? Wisdom of emptiness is missing. So if that is the ultimate, then why not the Prince Siddhartha is happy? So these are things that we need to keep in mind. Don't take for granted that we met with the teaching on the emptiness. Don't take for granted. This is just look at the 8 billion human beings. Then you'll realize. And within the people who say that I'm Buddhist, I'm following this Buddhism, that Buddhism, I'm not going to mention the names, right? This Buddhism, that Buddhism. Just check if you have the wisdom of emptiness, study, contemplation, meditation. If you have bodhicitta, 2 methods do you have? Just check it. And how many of them have it? So less. And you are very meritorious to meet with these. So why do we have to waste it? Okay, having said this, now let's turn to page 199. Second or third paragraph, which reads, accordingly, compounded phenomena such as eyes, the flowers, and so forth, are not natures in the sense of being essentially existent. Nature, how many kinds of natures are being explained? 2. What are they? Nature in the form of intrinsic nature, nature as intrinsic nature, and nature as ultimate truth. 2 natures. So, the compounded phenomena or impermanent phenomena such as eyes are not the natures in the sense of being essentially existent. It is not a nature in the form of object negation. Because okay, tell me, why the compounded phenomena, they are not the nature in the form of the intrinsic nature. Why? Huh? Okay, they're just same. Compounded phenomena, they are not the nature in the form of intrinsic nature. Why? Nothing. Elora. Not Elora. Laura.
Nothing has intrinsic.
Okay, so the impermanent phenomena, okay, let's be more direct. What you said is perfectly correct, but because I asked compounded phenomena or impermanent phenomena, because the impermanent phenomena they don't exist intrinsically. So if it fulfills the first nature, it should exist intrinsically. It should have intrinsic nature, but it does not have intrinsic nature. Thank you. Okay. The impermanent phenomena, do they qualify the second nature? Second nature? Yes, no? Yes, resents. It fulfills second nature? Yes. Okay. It does not fulfill second nature, resents. Resents. Okay, Sanjuta, tell me, why not? Why yes or why not? Why not?
Because even they do not exist ultimately.
Say it again.
Because even they do not exist ultimately.
Compounded phenomena, like the flower, does it fulfill the second nature? What is second nature? Ultimate truth. Flower, is it ultimate truth?
No.
No, so therefore it does not fulfill this second nature. You're getting it? Second nature means the ultimate truth. So if it fulfills something fulfills the ultimate, what is that? Second nature, it should be ultimate truth. So the flower is not the flower, compound phenomena. Are they ultimate truth or not? They're not. They're not ultimate truth. So therefore they don't fulfill the second nature. In other words, impermanent phenomena, they don't fulfill any of the two natures. And what fulfills the second nature? Emptiness. Emptiness fulfills the second nature. Ultimate truth fulfills the second nature. What fulfills the first nature? Objective negation fulfills the first nature. Objective negation is intrinsic nature, right? How many said yes, resent? Hey, resent those who said objective negation fulfills the first nature, that is, object negation is intrinsic nature, resents? Okay, so these people, they cannot leave the retreat after 18th. Okay, so you are saying that there's something which is intrinsic nature. Yes, no. Is there something which exists intrinsic nature? Objective negation, is it intrinsic nature? Yes, no. Chandila. But in NMC, penalty. NMC 1, penalty. Okay. Now, okay, this is, I don't want to say that you are wrong. You're actually wrong. But what I was saying is that there's a language, the play of the language is not only a language, there's a meaning also there. But usually in the ordinary conversation, we just ignore these nuances. The nuances that, for example, human beings are males. Human being is a male, yes, no. Male is a human being, yes, no. Boy is a human being, yes, no. Ajikasan said no, boy is no human being. A boy is a human being, yes, no. Human being is a boy, yes, no. No, human being, it has two parts. Boy is, whatever is a boy should necessarily be human being. Likewise, object negation is intrinsic nature, or intrinsic nature is object negation. Which one? Object negation is intrinsic nature, or intrinsic nature is object negation? Ajikasan. Object negation is intrinsic nature, or intrinsic nature is object negation. Which is correct? Or both are correct? Or both are wrong? Both are wrong. Wow. Okay. So the maximus redundancy, minimalism, we study all these things and find it both are wrong. So what's object negation? Tell me. What is object negation of emptiness?
It's the objective negation of emptiness is the intrinsic nature.
Object negation of emptiness is intrinsic nature.
Yeah.
So there's something which is intrinsic nature.
No, there's nothing that is.
There's nothing. So object negation of emptiness is intrinsic nature. Yes, no.
No.
You said it.
The intrinsic
so what is object
nature
negation
of the object
what is object negation of emptiness?
The objective negation of the emptiness is the intrinsic nature of the objective negation. Not the, it's not the intrinsic nature.
Okay. So objective negation of the emptiness is the intrinsic nature of object negation of the emptiness. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. So emptiness, the what is that? Intrinsic nature of the object negation of emptiness Does it exist? Is there something which qualifies that?
No, it doesn't exist. That's why we call it object of negation.
This is what I'm saying. So therefore, say horn of a rabbit. Horn of a rabbit, is it existent?
Not existent.
Okay. Horn of a rabbit, is it intrinsic existent?
Not
Why not?
intrinsic existent. Because the basis of the object of negation doesn't even exist. So how are you going to negate that?
I'm not saying to negate the. You can negate it. Or the object, the horn of a rabbit, does not exist intrinsically. We can reject intrinsic existence on the horn of a rabbit. We can reject it. We can reject it. But what I'm saying is that the horn of a rabbit, is it intrinsic nature?
It's not.
There's nothing which can identify as intrinsic nature. You agree?
Right. Yes.
So object negation is not intrinsic nature.
I think the wording is confusing, but object of negation.
Okay, how many of you understood this? What I'm saying is that human being is a boy. This is a wrong statement. A boy is a human being. This is a correct statement. You're getting it? Likewise, intrinsic nature is the object of negation emptiness. Yes, no. Very good. Okay. Intrinsic nature is the object of negation. Intrinsic nature is to be negated. Yes, no. Intrinsic nature is to be negated to understand emptiness. Therefore, intrinsic nature is the object to be negated to understand emptiness. Intrinsic nature is the object of negation of emptiness. So, object of negation of emptiness is not intrinsic nature. Okay, very good. Okay, if you're confused, you have to do this, discuss more in the group discussion. Okay, good. So, again, same paragraph. Accordingly, compounded phenomena, impermanent phenomena, such as eyes, are not natures in the sense of being essentially existent. Object negation. It is not the object. It is not the object. The nature in the form of object negation of emptiness. Number one. Number two. Nor are they natures when reality is posited as the final nature. Reality meaning ultimate truth. Compounded phenomena, they are not ultimate truth. So therefore they are not the nature in the context of the ultimate truth, the imperm phenomena. They are not ultimate truth and they are also not intrinsically real. So therefore the imperm phenomena, they are not one of the two natures. Okay, good. So they are neither sort of nature, neither of the two natures. Ultimate natures are natures when reality is, okay, now what about the ultimate truth? What are ultimate truth itself? Emptiness. Ultimate truths are natures when reality is posited as the final nature. But what establishes them as such natures is that they are not fabricated. So that nature, that the final nature should have these qualities, unfabricated and not dependent on something else. They do not at all exist as natures. So they ultimate truth exists as nature. Which nature? Which is true nature? A second one in the form of ultimate truth, but it does not exist as the first nature, that is intrinsic nature. It does not exist, ultimate truth does not exist as an intrinsic nature. Very good. They do not at all exist as natures in the sense of being essentially existent. So the ultimate truth does not exist as essentially existent nature. Thus they exist, since they do not exist essentially or intrinsically, therefore they exist how? Conventionally. Thus they exist mere conventionally. Okay, now these words, so we should be very, very careful to make sure that the words used in the technical text, don't try to interpret it your own ways. Always look for the real meaning as explained by the authoritative teachers. For example, here, fabricated, the word fabricated which we use several times. Fabricated means produced. In what sense? In the sense of a new occurrence, something which is non-existent and then came into being. For example, like this center. While I was here, it was non-existent. It was just a farmland, non-existent, and then coming now it has occurred. So that is known as fabricated. And then to depend upon something else means to depend on causes and conditions. Very good. Since forms and so forth are neither type of nature, you agree? forms, flowers, house and so forth, your body, the self, the mind and so forth, impermanent phenomena, they're neither type of nature. When you speak of cultivating the path in order to view the final nature, what is the final nature? So when you say that we have to meditate in the final nature, that is the ultimate truth. So that nature has a sense of reality. So instead of reality, make it suchness. I would say just underline it, don't delete it, underline it, use the word suchness. This will, for some people, this may be more powerful. Has a sense of suchness. Therefore, Acharya Chandrakirti says that pure contact. So therefore, given that there's a reason for us to understand this reality, and then the inappropriate attention will be stopped, then the afflictions will stop, then contaminant karmas also. So therefore, contaminant karmas, the actions, the contacts which are harmful, they should be stopped in order to understand emptiness. So moreover, Acharya Chandrakirti says a pure conduct is not senseless, because this reality is so precious, we have to get there, and so therefore all these practices are required to make sure that we get to to this reality or the nature in the form of the ultimate reality. Moreover, he explains that his utter lack of an assertion that phenomena have a nature in the sense of essential existence, where he said that nothing exists as essential existence, this does not contradict with his incidental assertion of a final nature. Okay, so nature there are two. One nature is in the form of object negation, and the other nature in the form of ultimate truth. So it's the same word, but two different meanings. Whereas the opponent, simply by seeing this word, reading this word, what it says is contradiction within you. On the one hand, you are saying that nature doesn't exist, you reject nature. On the other hand, you are saying that nature is seen by the Buddha, nature is to be practiced is to be realized by the beings in order to stop the miseries. So one you are saying that it exists, one you are saying that it does not exist. There's a contradiction there. This is what they are saying. So therefore, the words, they can have multiple meanings. And later on, I would say that for the time being, this is how we read it. Later on, as you understand to empty, as your knowledge of these studies become better, more refined, that is very important just to think. It's very strange. When you talk about the nature, you get some idea. And then this nature, how the ordinary being sees the nature, and how the Arya being sees the nature. Same nature. How the ordinary being sees the nature is intrinsic reality as the nature. And how the Arya being sees the nature as empty of intrinsic reality as the nature. It's just the opposite. Just the opposite. So there, both of them are trying to see the same thing. What is really there? What is really there? What is really there? What is really there? That's nature. Now the ordinary being says what is really there is intrinsic nature is there. And the Arya being says that what is really there is empty of intrinsic nature is there. So it's talking about the same thing, but the same thing is seen in the opposite ways. Okay, for example, like a person A. Person A, person A is very lazy, and person A comes for a job interview. And you are the interviewer, and you have a friend who knows person A. And hey, how's this person A? He's lazy. Right? Lazy person cannot be in job. And then you ask the mother of the candidate. Ask the mother, oh, he's very good. You're getting it? You get two opposite information about the same person. You're getting it? It's about the same person, but you get two opposite information. One said it's very good, one said not lazy, very good. One said it's lazy, not good. Likewise, the same object of flower, you ask the Aryas, what's the nature? What's there? What's nature mean? What's there? Independent of your mind, what is there? I will say, ultimate reality is there, which means the emptiness of intrinsic reality is there. And the ordinary people, you ask what is there, intrinsic reality is there. It's just the same object described in the two opposite contrasting ways. Where you see it's intrinsic, will drag you in samsara. Where you see it's empty of intrinsic reality, you are liberated. So it's our job, is you to decide. You want to see it intrinsically, or you want to see it's empty of intrinsic reality. You want to see it's intrinsic reality, you don't have to put any effort. We are so expert in this. Since time immemorial till today, we're so expert to see this intrinsic real. So expert. You're getting it? And we exaggerate even more. We exaggerate even more. How? Say, you put an old shirt in the television to advertise the detergent. The person put the old shirt, very old worn out shirt in the detergent and take out a brand new shirt comes out. And people are fascinated. Wow, it's amazing. Exaggeration of the exaggeration. Extreme exaggeration. Extreme exam. Now online datings. Online datings. And you see, and then you see somebody opposite gender and you say, how are you? Says, I'm fine, how are you? Where are you? I'm in America. Actually, he's not in America, he's in Nigeria. I'm in America. What are you doing? I'm consultant in to a CEO of something. You're not. He's actually 70. And what are you doing? Oh, I'm this. Again, oh, it would be good if sometimes you can. Do you ever happen to? What are you interested? I'm interested in Buddhism. What are you doing? I'm attending a retreat. What retreat? Buddhist retreat. Oh, I'm also interested in Buddhism. Not interested in Buddhism. I'm also interested in Buddhism. Then finally they meet. Oh, we should meet up. I'm coming to India actually. I'm not coming. And they say, I'm actually coming. I'm playing new plan. I'm coming to India. Oh, look, you are so interested. I wish this interest is there when I'm talking about emptiness. Wow, it's amazing. If this is amount of interest that we showed emptiness, you will soon realize emptiness. Very quick. Very quick. Wow, that's amazing. Rapt attention. Everyone. Pin drop silence. Amazing. Okay. So I'll not continue the story. Because your focus is, redirected somewhere else. Okay, I'll not go in there. Okay. Okay, so the paragraph which reads second, since forms and so forth. I'm reading this. And the third line of this, therefore Acharya Chandrakriti says that pure contact is not senseless. Moreover, he explains that his utter lack of an assertion that phenomena have nature in the sense of essential existence. So, nature in the form of essential existence and nature in the form of emptiness intrinsic reality, there is no contradiction. Acharya Chandrakriti's explanation of the middle way, commentary says, okay, objection. Alas, utterly wrong. You do not assert real things, meaning you do not assert intrinsic things at all, but also incidentally. So this is the citation of Acharya Chandrakriti's text. Incidentally assert at the same time, you are so suddenly you're talking about a nature that is non-fabricated, does not depend upon something else, and to be cultivated, to be studied, to be realized. You are saying things that are blatantly contradictory. Reply: in saying this, you miss the point of the fundamental treatise. Fundamental treatises are in Nagarjuna's text. Mul Madhyamaka Karika. This is what it means. If eyes and such dependent arisings that are evident to ordinary childish beings were the own nature, how the eyes, how the say the flowers and so forth, they appear, how they appear to the ordinary beings, as intrinsically real, as intrinsic nature. But their own nature, if that is the intrinsic nature, true nature of these objects, their consciousness could know that nature. Then everybody should be knowing the nature. Because for everybody, things are seen so intrinsically real. And for the sake of the viewing that nature of the pure conduct, for the practice, we talked about the ceasing karmas, afflictions is nirvana, reducing the negative karmas, reducing afflictions, so forth. These pure. Because they are not their own nature, the pure sins, that nature as seen by the ordinary beings, is not the real nature. So therefore, we have to revolutionize our thinking from intrinsic nature to the nature of the emptiness, intrinsic reality. So this needs to be revolutionized. For that purpose, all these pure contact and so forth have a purpose. Further, I say that this nature, as compared to conventional truths, this nature, as compared to conventional truths, is non-fabricated. Ultimate truth as the nature is non-fabricated and does not depend upon something else. Only something that ordinary childish beings do not see is suitable to be the nature. Only something that ordinary childish beings do not see. This emptiness, intrinsic reality is not the ordinary childish beings can see. With beings, not the ordinary childish beings means people like us. Therefore, the ultimate is neither a thing nor a non-thing. So, thing, non-thing described later, but thing here is the intrinsic true existence, and non-thing is utter non-existence. So, ultimate reality is not true existence, no, it is utterly non-existent. It is simply peace. Here, thing and non-thing refer to essential existence. The first one, thing, means essential or intrinsic existence, and utter non-existence. The non-existence, non-thing is utter non-existence. As explained above in the section on dualism. Now, when you as an ordinary being determine meaning establish that phenomena lack even a particle of essential intrinsic nature, you find that emptiness intrinsic nature, is an attribute of the phenomena, such as form, attribute. They serve as a substrate. Okay, now this section is going to, I'm going to finish this here. This is very important. Substrata, this word here, many of us, we may not know what it means. For example, let's say, I say that we need to study emptiness. And you may say, emptiness of what? So I say, emptiness of yourself. So yourself as the base, and then using this base, you see the emptiness of this self, and then you realize emptiness of intrinsic reality of the self. Okay, so next session we'll do emptiness of the, okay, this morning, what emptiness did we meditate this morning? Emptiness of the person. Yesterday, what? Flower. Day before that? Huh? Somebody who we love. Loved ones, yes. So, we have been shifting the object. Likewise, so object, a particular object, and the emptiness of that object. So, that object upon which the emptiness is established, that object is known as substrata. Substrata. So it says, for example, that emptiness of flower. What's the substrate of this emptiness here? Flower. Emptiness of the emptiness cheesecake. What is the substrata? Cheesecake. Very good. Okay. So thus it is not contradictory for both substrata and attribute. And so substrata is less than the flower or the cheesecake, and the attribute is the emptiness of intrinsic reality as the attribute. For example, the flower is beautiful. What is the attribute? The beautiful is the attribute that I give. For example, this place is so clean. What is the substrata? Okay, this place is so clean. What is substrata? the place. And what is the attribute? Being very clean. Very good. Okay. What happens? I said something before, and then it just gives you mind so fresh. So now you're giving good answers. So once in a while I have to go back to that thing. Okay. So let's see. So thus it is not contradictory for both substrata and attribute to be objects of a single mind. So okay, look. Say conceptual mind. To see emptiness can be seen by two different minds, conceptual mind and non-conceptual mind. Emptiness can be seen by two different minds, conceptual mind and non-conceptual mind. So how conceptual mind sees emptiness and how the non-conceptual mind sees emptiness, this distinction is going to be made here. Okay, how conceptual mind sees emptiness. So here, let's say, oh, the flower is empty of intrinsic reality. Conceptually, you understand it. So here it says that thus it is not contradictory for both substrata. What is substrata here? Emptiness of flower. Emptiness of flower. What is substrata? Flower. Okay. Flower substrata and the attribute. Emptiness. Emptiness of intrinsic reality. So these two to be the objects of a single mind. There's no contradictory. There's no contradiction here. There's no contradiction. Okay, what did it say? That for a conceptual mind, and why it does not say conceptual mind here, but I'm saying that it refers to conceptual mind. Why? You will understand it later. So for a conceptual mind which sees the emptiness of the flower and the substrate which is the flower and the attribute which is the emptiness, these two both become the object of this particular mind, conceptual mind which sees the emptiness of the flower. Okay, how many understood this much? Raise hands. This is not my words. This is the words of the authority, such authority, Lama Tsongkhapa. So then the debates are there. Whether or not the substrata appears, the flower appears to the mind, conceptual mind, which sees the emptiness of the flower. This is a big question. Many scholars, they say, no, the flower does not appear. And some scholars, they do say that, yes, the substrate does appear to the conceptual mind, which is the emptiness of the flower. Okay, so what's that thing which is to be understood, which is without any ambiguity or any confusion to be understood, is that a substrata and the attribute, these two in the form of the flower and the emptiness of the flower, these both are objects of the same mind. Objects of the same mind. But what do you mean the objects? Appearing object, or the object of apprehension, or what? This is the question. So because of this, the debates are there whether or not the flower as the substrate appears to the mind, conceptual mind, which apprehends the emptiness of the flower. So this is a huge discussion. You're getting it? And to be very honest, I would say that people debate, citing this source, that source, and so forth. I would say that the best thing would be that, we need to study these things and gradually meditate. You have to get a good picture of the studies. With the studies, you get information. Then with the contemplation, with the studies, you will get the borrowed knowledge. With the contemplation, it becomes your knowledge. It is no more a borrowed knowledge. With the studies, initially you start with the borrowed knowledge. So with this borrowed knowledge, which means you're not convinced. You keep contemplating on this, and then you become convinced. Then it becomes your knowledge. Number two, that is the wisdom drawn through contemplation. And this knowledge that you have to use it so effectively to exercise it so much that it becomes spontaneous. Then this will bring about a transformation in emotions, which we discussed yesterday. So the thing is that just practice it, meditate, and then experientially what comes, you will decide. This best thing, rather than saying this source says no, it is not. It does not appear because this standard text says it does not say it appears because of this. So these are the areas. There are areas which you have to learn, and there are areas where you meditate and you will understand it. But for to disclose the nuances through meditation, you need to have the basic framework, the foundation should be there, which you can get only through studies and contemplation, without which you will not get it. So without this, then the basis of the meditation is lost. With the rich knowledge, okay, so you get the steel for the pillars and the beams, you get the cement, bricks, all these things you have to get. Once you get it, then you try to, and then you see so here, no, once you have the building, you cannot have the fans, because on top there are the beams coming. Which means, yes, is it true that beams are coming on the ceiling? Yes, it comes. The pillars are there? Yes. Beams on the ceiling? Yes. But actually when you construct it, then you say, oh, it's not that everywhere is a beam. There's an empty space between the two beams. There you can put the fan. You're getting it? So these are the nuances. These nuances you will get from your meditation. Without the meditation, this will never happen. So therefore, the great teachers, they can easily sense whether you are meditating or not. You can be a great learned scholar, extremely great scholar, and then if you meet with an experienced teacher who is very learned plus meditator, will ask some questions from he can easily figure out, he or she can easily figure out you are actually meditating on emptiness. Easily figure out. So His Holiness, many of His Holiness's thoughts shared on emptiness, you don't find it in the text. It's all experiential. Okay, good. So what we said is that the substrata and the attribute with respect to the emptiness, these two are the same, these two are the two objects of the same mind. That is that is not to be rejected, that is to be accepted. The next is these are the objects of the same mind. Do you mean of your appearance? Yes, if of your appearance, they should appear. So, to the mind which sees the emptiness of the flower does not appear. It appears, then the flower should become the object of ultimate analysis. So all these you can debate. So when studying, you can throw any kind of debate, you can look from any angle. So with all these rich debates and analysis, then you meditate. And when you really get emptiness, then you, from your experience, you can say that flower appears, not appears, you can decide. Okay. But we need to have the factual information. Factual information should not be missed. Factual information, these are factual information. We need to have these as the basic ground, foundation, and the pillars. So without this, then you talk about emptiness, it doesn't make any sense, it's just a waste of your time. Factual information is there, then process information, and then you meditate on this, and then your experiences will tell you what are the things which are not mentioned in the text. Okay, next. Thus it is not contradictory for... Thus it is not contradictory for both substrata and attribute to be objects of a single mind, since you have not stopped dualistic appearance, and that appearance is a nominal rather than actual ultimate truth. Okay, this line I need to explain it. So when you see the emptiness, or conceptual mind sees the emptiness, there's a dualistic appearance happening. Dualist appearance. What is meant by dualist appearance? Dualist appearance, look, this is a very important thing. You may not fully get it, but at least we need to plant a seed in our mind. Same in dualist appearance, it can be you can understand it in two ways. Let's say, okay, how many things are there? Two, dual. You are seeing the duality as the object. You are getting it? This one. Next is, let's say that your mind and the object, the flower, okay, just one object, flower, and your mind is the subject, the flower is the object. So this is flower, this is not my mind. This is mind, this is not the flower. You agree? Huh? And some people, they don't look at me, says, you agree? You're getting it? So I'm doing the hand gesture, is involved. You are not seeing this hand gesture. So this is the flower, this is the object, this is not my mind. You agree? And this is the subject, this is my mind, this is the subject, not the object, this is not the flower. You agree? So there's a duality, there are two there. One is object which is not a subject, one is a subject which is not object. There's subject which duality there. So this is known as the duality. You getting it? And then also here, there's the subtle indication that the substrata, the flower, and the emptiness, that's a duality. One is substrata and one is an attribute. Flower is not the attribute, and attribute emptiness is not the flower. So there's duality. So duality has multiple meanings here in this. So it said that where there's a conceptual experience of emptiness, there's a duality involved. The duality, appearance of dual appearances there. Where there's dual appearances there, ultimate reality should be, for example, let's say that you put on the blue glasses, or okay, let's say you put on the blue glasses and you see the Mount Kailash. Are you seeing Mount Kailash? Huh? You seeing Mount Kailash or not? If you're not seeing Mount Kailash, are you seeing a mountain? Yes. If you see a mountain, that must be Mount Kailash or non-Mount Kailash. Right? In that place, there's only one mountain. There's Mount Kailash. You should be seeing Mount Kailash. But Mount Kailash is not blue. So, what you see, don't deny the reality that you see Mount Kailash, but you are not seeing the real Mount Kailash. Real Mount Kailash is not blue. You're getting it? You are seeing Mount Kailash. Don't deny the reality that you see Mount Kailash, but you're not seeing the pure Mount Kailash. Pure Mount Kailash is not blue, it's white. So likewise, emptiness, where there's duality there, you're not seeing the real pure emptiness. You are seeing emptiness, but you're not seeing the real pure emptiness. Pure emptiness is where all the elaborations dissolve. Karma self-afflictions arise from? Ceasing karma self-afflictions is nirvana. Karma self-afflictions arise from? Conceptualization inappropriate tension, which in turn arises from self-grasping ignorance, and the elaboration ceases through or into the emptiness. You're getting it? So where all the elaborations should dissolve. In other words, the projector stops. Projector stops, and all what you see on the screen, they stop. You're getting it? Where I am the projector and you are the screen, that is dissolved because the projection stops. When the projection stops, it's not a projector. Projector means there should be projection happening. Projection is not there, so there's no projector, but it's not projected. So projector duality dissolves. You're getting it? So it can be quite a scary experience. But if this is the place where I don't share, I don't see any place where I should share. Because this is from NMC1 and NMC2. And non-NMC people, you're lucky. NMC1, NMC2, this is your share. NMC1 and NMC2, for you, this is a share. For usually, I don't share these thoughts because this can easily drag somebody into nihilism. You're getting it? The projector stops, then the movie stops, the reality manifests. So, therefore, this is where the duality dissolves. Okay, now let's see. Since you have not stopped dualistic appearance, that emptiness is the emptiness that this conceptual mind is seeing is nominal rather than actual pure ultimate truth. Now, by accustoming yourself to that, now continue meditation on this. Tenzin Gandhila, welcome. Tenzin Gandhila, welcome. Okay, so continue meditation on this emptiness. Gradually, the conceptualization gradually disappears and will transform into direct realization. Direct realization emptiness. That is known as direct realization emptiness, non-dual wisdom of emptiness, non-conceptual experience of emptiness. These two are synonymous. Direct realization emptiness, non-dual wisdom emptiness, non-conceptual experience emptiness, these two are synonymous. Don't apply the same logic to other things like impermanence. You're getting it? Direct realization impermanence, what is that? Non-conceptual experience impermanence, non-dualistic experience emptiness. No. For impermanence, the direct realization impermanence does not mean non-dualistic experience of impermanence. For impermanence, there's a dualism there, even for the direct reality. It's only with the emptiness that the duality dissolves. Okay. So, by accustoming yourself to that view meaning the initial experience of emptiness, which is conceptual, which knows the absence of intrinsic reality, you will know, instead of know, just underline it, make it more powerful, forceful word. Realize. Because know is I know you, It's a very soft word. To realize. Okay, to realize emptiness. You will realize it by not just perceiving it, directly perceiving it. This is I'm getting from the original Tibetan source. I'm not just saying it on my own. From the original Tibetan source. To realize it by directly perceiving it, that becomes direct realization of emptiness. So the next question is, for impermanence, why direct realization of impermanence is not non-dual, it's dual. Whereas direct realization of emptiness is non-dual, why? Okay, Geshe, why? For impermanence, direct realization does not mean non-dual realization impermanence. But for emptiness, yes. Direct realization means non-dual. Why non-dual? For direct realization with emptiness and not for impermanence. Okay, so what Geshe is saying is that, okay, two of them ready. Geshe and they be ready. Okay, when I ask this question to Geshe, you should be ready. You're getting it. Okay, so my question to Geshe is that why only for emptiness, direct realization connotes non-dual realization. Whereas for other things like impermanence, direct realization doesn't connote the non-dual. Why? And the Geshe said that the impermanence falls under the conventional reality. Okay, my next question, follow-up question. Why for a conventional reality, direct realization doesn't connote non-dual realization? Why not? Hey, Geshe, Geshe, Tomba Nyusum to Toyundi, Tomba Nina Nugo Harchere. Metabonsum to Nina Manugo Harchere.
Kunzo Ginawa Chatura.
Kuzu Nawachan Nina Yugo Hare. So look, now he's given the similar, very standard answer. Because there is a conceptual appearance. I said, when you have the conceptual, the object, conceptual, what is that? Kuzubanawa, not conceptual. Kuzubanawa is the conventional appearance of the conventional reality. So where the object is conventional truth, where there is conventional truth, why it cannot be non-dual when you see it directly? Yeah, why? Kuzubunawa Yunarwa, Nina Numacho Hare. That is Simjesal, or rather, Sangisal to Lohare. Okay, yeah.
Nawani Chadora. Nawani Chadora.
Kachi Chabre.
Kunzo Ginawa, Tandabinawa.
Yes. And in this another, the Tony Jedok Beer, that come the Tony Tunjus to Shelujera. The Tony Shagare, the Tombani Utanadi, Mendosh Kunzup Shagamara. Shagamar. Mendo Tombani Tobi, Tunjus to be sheriff, the Mendo Shagamar. Mendo Shasonani, the Kare, the Kasure, Tunam Lugi, Kunzubu Chedi, Ani Kasure, Rivici, Suinara.
Tondam Chuchu Loti,
the Nuju Kunzubu Chebena.
Kunzo
Chebena,
Cheba,
Kunzubu Chedi, Rivici Misura, Rivici Misur Hasure.
Chebi Talat, and Temple to do this. Niana,
Rivici Misubas and Hasure.
Rivici Misubas and
Oh, Penamendo Chujens, Rivici Suma in Baser. Minde. Rivici Suma in Bukwaka Labda.
Temple to Mimes.
But Tedua, Rivici the Temper
Rivici say in a temple to Boris.
Rivici Hasure.
La. The Rivici says in it.
Cook was Gaura. Cook was Gemni and Rivici and Temper to Laura. Cook was Gada. Ribiche Susangare.
Rigbi che sete rigbi cheba chegi shi.
Mare, Debiche Shida, Mare.
Cheba.
Cheba Chebe Kablasra. Ani Mendo Che Sugumare, Spedosna, my can't do de two mares, Lavina. Can't do de two Mahasuri, the Canon Sakajudan rest, and a pedulus Larda. Dun de two mare, the chip, Mr. We change Sambala, Kohana chip, Pagi move the de two yam, two to Yamara. Yeah, guess or not. Ribichi Mr. Tanagare. Again, some Gilada. Ribichi swimmer Sutanagare.
The Konanya Chibiri Yeman.
The one I live with Ribini Mani last Larda. Tapumbati Nigo Mare. Manangira.
Nangim.
Okay, so he and Geshe did diverge with respect to whether the object, the flower, appears to the conceptual mind which sees emptiness, which realizes emptiness. So Geshe, this is the saying, yes, the flower appears. And to Nasa Manasa. So Geshe is saying the flower does not appear. Okay, Nangimra. Tamanana, Takesi, Mendo now the Shavina, Mendo now the water, and the Toingusum to Lola, Toingusum to Lola, Nina Nugu Herchere. But the Kuzubuche Musum to Toindu, the now Nugumara, Nina Nugumara, has no matter. Yeah, something like that. I'm checking, are they just on the surface level or they really thought deeper? No. That's what the answer Geshe gave and Gendizi gave, Geshe gave, is still on the surface. Yeah, Geshe. Kuzub now you know yoga gimzakare. That's simjasalarda.
Azudi Namjuni and a Chula Shushage now lipid of the Koran Eugenia Uniga that Chugang Chushang, the Zambala Dichure, Deep Positive Chure, and Kabarche now actually.
Yeah,
I don't really have a better way to explain it that I can think of. Sorry.
Okay, so this is where the young scholars, they need to go deeper. It's not just what you've heard. So Geshe is saying that this is what is known as Chula means water poured into another water, so they'll become one. This is a very standard answer. Very standard. Standard answer means everybody will say this. But what do you really understand by this question? Okay. Garb Dojila.
That's Legisla.
So ultimately the question is why they say if a mind on the level of the sentient beings, if the mind directly cognizes, this is the key. If the mind directly cognizes the conventional truth, the necessity should be duality, appearance of duality. Whereas for the only seeing emptiness directly, then the duality dissolves. Why this question?
No, kisla ani tongi monsu to dikoso ginang me pada dini mitapong monsu to dikoso ginang yopachirala. Ani de mitapong monsu to dikoso korsum mikbegoni tokiera dini tongi monsu to dikoso korsum ma mikbegoni de sare phasa kisla ngan sila tajimina.
Garodujala answer says again another version of a standard answer, saying that when you realize emptiness, it is through not seeing the three spheres: object, the subject, and the action. Whereas with conceptual things, there should be the appearance of these three things there. So why with the conceptual things, the realization of conventional? Why with that realization of the conventional object, there should be the appearance of three spheres, and why not for the ultimate truth? Okay, over the 1, 2, 3, then we'll retire for a break. Raise hand, raise hand, raise hand, raise hand. So this should be for the primary for the NMC1, and NMC also you can take advantage. Yes.
Geshe, please allow me to try. I think when the direct realizations of impermanence is dual, it's not non-dual because it does not directly counter, it is not directly opposite and countering the self-grasping ignorance. And
So
therefore
why
the
it
duality exists.
Why something which is not directly in opposition with the wisdom family, with the self-grasping ignorance, why it should necessarily have the appearance of duality? Why?
Because in order for the duality to dissolve, the emptiness, the wisdom, that wisdom has to be directly.
Why? Same. Why? Okay, here. Ajigasana.
Geshe, for sentient beings, when we directly realize conventional truth, I think that we look at the object and our mind is tainted by self-grasping ignorance, so we see them existing intrinsically from the object. Always, it appears from the object. So then the subject also is there, so there is the duality.
Why,
from
when
the
you
object.
see the conventional truth, it should necessarily be influenced by self-grasping ignorance? Why?
Because we are sentient beings, we haven't seen.
So therefore, why? Does it mean that even the bodhisattvas seeing emptiness directly, they see emptiness directly, they mind is influenced by self-grasping ignorance? They're also sentient beings.
No,
They're also
Geshe.
sentient beings.
No, except from them.
Huh?
You know, us regular sentient beings who are not the Arya beings in the meditative
In a way, you are saying that the mind which doesn't see emptiness directly, this is what it's saying.
for them, the Arya beings, when they see the direct realization of the emptiness, they don't see the flower doesn't appear. That's
This is
what
what
I
I'm
think.
saying. So therefore, why, if a flower appears, there should be dualistic appearance? Why?
Because flower is,
Concept with the conventional truth.
yeah, it's conventional truth.
Why, if a conventional truth comes, then there should be dualistic appearance? Why?
Because there's the separation of subject and object.
Why, with the conventional truth, separation of object subject happens, while the ultimate truth it does not happen? Why?
Because with the conventional truth, we don't do further analysis. We take it at face value without mata maji logi.
Oh, so what's the problem? If it is the face value, then why should there be duality? Why?
Because of our grasping at the intrinsic existence.
Okay, it's what is that? This English word is tautology. Surface, moving here, prison A, release from prison A, go in prison B, and prison B release, prison C, come back. Okay, maybe things omala. Okay, then we will break for.
I was thinking, because the projector is still there, the self-grasping ignorance is the one which is projecting the subject, which is the subject, and then the object is there. But when we don't stop the projector, then there will always be dualistic, you know. But once you kind of like remove the projector, then the duality removes. There's no separation.
That's amazing. She's from science background. Yes. Software engineer. Software engineer. Okay. Yes, Professor. What? Okay. You mean to say I should repeat what she said? Okay. That's amazing. Wow. It made my day. Geshe la. Geshe mala. Gesunam. Kete. Okay. We learn from this girl. what she's thinking. She's thinking. What she says is that how do we see the conventional truth? How do we see the ultimate truth? Okay, she's making the distinction with a metaphor. Say, what is seeing the conventional truth like is you like watching a movie on the screen. All these, the flower, the house, these are all the movies that we are watching. So if at all there's something there, it's just a pool of atoms. There's no flower there. It's your mind creating it. From the object, there's nothing as a flower, non-flower. It's just a pool of atoms. Even the atoms also made of electrons, protons, neutrons. Even the electrons are made of just energies. So nothing really to be pointed at as this or that. But we are seeing all these distinctions. These are all the movies that you're watching, projected by the projector of your mind. Now, this is how we see the conventional truth. And conventional truth are also known as deceptive truth. You're getting it? Deceptive truth. What does it do? The non-deceptive truth shut down the projector, and then what you see is the reality. Then you will see what's the reality of the screen. Shut down the projector. Shut down the projector. Projected stops. Projector stops. So there's two. Projected, projector, two, stop. What is that? Projected, projector, 2 or 1. 2. Shut down. 0. Non-duality. This is extremely precious understanding. Extremely precious. But usually the thing is that if this concept is taught right from the beginning, people can easily slide into nihilism. You're getting it? So if somebody who studied emptiness for an extended period of time, for these people, when these concepts are told, some people will feel just, wow. These people have deep imprints from the past life. If you do not feel that, it doesn't matter. Today you have planted a seed. What Tsongkhapa said, you have planted a seed by this. And then next time you hear it, that's so profound. You feel that it's so profound. You're getting it? So how to see ultimate reality is only by shutting down so therefore conceptual mind, the projector is not shut down. So therefore it says that what you are seeing is not the actual ultimate reality. How to see the screen there, how to see. Don't put on the blue glasses. Put on the blue glasses, you will never see the real screen. Remove the blue glasses, shut down the projector, then you will see the screen bare without the projection projected by the projector. So that is the meaning of seeing the ultimate truth in its bare form. This is so precious. Okay, we'll stop here. Shenge me to dege bonjamba serge dembo tabo jebe ku shaye gebo Kyola chaselo mone mahamona eswa mone Mahamona Yeswa Mone Mahamona Yeswa Mone Mahamona Yeswa Mone Mahamona Yeswa Muni Mahamunaya Swaha. Okay, just very quickly of sharing this young monk, Sonamla, second time when he came to see me in Dharamsala, I was asking about Tsanpa Khangtsen, and he was giving the information, Tsanpa Khangtsen, and then he was sharing about how his own mentor teacher, Shagigan, mentor teacher, used to share what used to happen in those days before he joined. So his mentor teacher was very junior, like I think maybe Zinzibure. So I was just checking his level with some questions, and then he was sharing with me, he was telling me that his mentor teacher used to share what was happening in those days when his mentor teacher was very young and we were seniors, and he would share those stories that this is all very real. So that we finish a debate at 11 p.m., 11:30 p.m. sometimes. Then everybody has their steel mug. They then, after the debate still is not complete, they'll come to my room for further discussions. In my room, including the mentor teacher, they would come. Then we would have discussions. So these are the things. These are usually not in the debate courtyard. These are things which happens in the private quarter discussing. These are the concepts, the duality, dissolve, and so forth. So this is what I'm checking. If this is there, I'm quite impressed that this girl, maybe past life, this girl, very impressed. I'm so impressed. If she set for the Geshe degree, with the top ranking, we will realize him just directly, very quickly. Thank you, I really appreciate it. So profound. Okay, 3 prostrations.